Friends, this is phacoemulsification of a cataract with grade 3 nuclear sclerosis. I've started the case. This is the main incision. It is 2.8 millimeter incision. Now viscoelastic substance HPMC is injected into the antechamber. Now two side ports are to be made. I make these side ports about 2.5 clock hours away from the main incision. This is the side port on the right side of the main incision, and this is another side port on the left side of the main incision. These side ports are about 1.5 millimeter. Now, Capsulorhexis is to be done. I incise the anterior capsule with a 26 gauge bent needle like this. And now I complete the rhexis with the help of a utrata forceps. I introduce the utrata forceps. I rest against the anterior lip, that is, I tent the anterior lip of the main incision, and leakage of viscoelastic substance become very minimal. Now in this case visibility is not very good, so I should have injected trypan blue dye. Anyway, I can see that the rhexis margin is, and at the end when I have completed the rhexis, I see that the rhexis size has become a bit small. I usually do a larger rhexis. This rhexis has been about 4.5 millimeter or so. I usually do a rhexis of about 5.25 millimeter or 5.5 millimeter. Now, at this time I don't want to enlarge the rhexis. I just want to manage the nucleus with this small rhexis. Here it is. This is vertical chop. It has been chopped very nicely. The nucleus appears brittle and it is being chopped very nicely. That's it. Now this is the other heminucleus. It is healed and it is chopped. So I have divided the nucleus into 4 fragments. Now I hold each fragment with ultrasonic energy and remove it, emulsify and remove it. I am in phaco 2 mode from the very beginning. No financial interest. I am using Oatly Cataracts 3 phaco machine. It's a beautiful machine working wonders in my hand. Phaco power used in this case is 60%, flow rate is 45 ml per minute, and vacuum is 450 mm of mercury. Now this is the last fragment, last nuclear fragment. I check the stability of the chamber at the last fragment and then remove the chopper, make the antechamber deep. The posterior capsule also goes backward, and then I emulsify the last bit, be it epinucleus or nucleus. That's it. So I have managed the nucleus using this small rhexis. This is not so small, but I want to enlarge this after implanting an intraocular lens. I'm using my Simcoe cannula, 23 gauge direct Simcoe cannula, and removing the cortical matter. This instrument works faster than bimanual IA in my hands. So to save time, I use this instrument, very simple instrument. Now this is HPMC again. Now in this case I am going to implant a hydrophobic acrylic intraocular lens. This is the intraocular lens. The leading haptic as well as the trailing haptic goes into the capsular bag. Now the Sinskey hook and the chopper is used to dial the intraocular lens and place the haptics in the bag. Now I want to enlarge the rhexis. I'm giving a small nick here at around 2 o'clock using the iterator again. Here it is. The iterator, I hold this capsular tag and enlarge the rhexis like this. The idea is to reduce chances of capsular phimosis. If I make a large rhexis or adequate sized rhexis, chance of capsular phimosis will be less. So I enlarged the rhexis to adequate size. Now viscoelastic substance has to be removed very thoroughly. I use Simcoe cannula as well as bimanual irrigation aspiration to remove the viscoelastic substance thoroughly out of the anterior chamber and from the capsular bag. That's it. The case is done. Now I inject a bit of pilocarpine and moxifloxacin in the anterior chamber. This is pilocarpine and this is moxifloxacin. And now I hydrate the side ports to make the side ports watertight. And now at this time a final wash is given. This is the final lavage of the anterior chamber. Whatever I have introduced, pilocarpine, moxifloxacin, whatever, I remove it, most of it, because some particulate matter, some solid particles somehow enters into the anterior chamber along with these injections. That increases the risk of toxic anterior segment syndrome. So to get rid of that, I wash it out. Thank you very much. Hope this video will help you in developing your skills.